From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of the Pucks Out Podcast. I'm Bobby Butler. He's Brandon Bond.
Hey-o.
It's time to crack open a cold Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA, the official beer of the Pucks Out Podcast. And remember, you can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long day. I needed that.
Oh, yeah. Me too, man.
Been a long week.
Me too. Me too. Absolutely, man.
But how you been, bud?
Busy. Quarantining.
Yeah.
Sitting at home doing nothing. Sleeping when I can. But not watching sports.
Yep. Coming out here and pretty much seeing you is the only time I get to get out of the house. So
yeah, well, glad to see you.
Yeah.
Obviously, we gotta get this form of entertainment out to folks because they need it right now. So we still got lots to talk about. We just don't have any new updates on sports to talk about.
We are at day 19 without hockey.
Yeah,
as of this recording.
Okay, that's again, I remember I said I could turn off the counter in my head because I'd go crazy. But that's wild. It has been, days are just moving into one another at this point, and I'm so busy at work that not a lot going on. So this is really the highlight of my week. Getting to record this and get it out there to the folks.
Yeah, my work is uptick too because of the nature of the work.
Right.
Obviously, it's something people can do at home, so more people are ordering it.
Exactly.
But before we get into everything, I want to give a quick shout out to all of our fans. As podcasters, we set goals that we want to reach. And a couple of weeks ago, we met our first goal of 300 listeners in a week.
Boom.
And last episode, we hit 500 listeners in less than a week. It took, 4 days? 3 days to hit 500 listeners. So thank you, everyone. And we're shooting for 1,000.
Well, we still got 3 days till the week hits.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out a little late on Thursday. So, hey, heck yeah, we appreciate you guys. Obviously, we told you where you can find us on social media. Let us know what you want. We want to gear this towards you guys. We have no loyalty to any given thing except for Sierra Nevada.
Yeah.
That tasty hazy little thing IPA. That wasn't even a scheduled sponsor spot, man. Sometimes you just got to get them in where you can get them in,
But, all right, so let's move into some news from across the pond. Prince Charles.
So fancy, man.
Drinking this here now with my pinky up.
Yeah.
But Prince Charles and Boris Johnson, they got coronavirus, so
can hit anybody.
Yeah,
man.
So it's hitting the royal family and the prime minister. So it's a big deal. People, keep safe. Also, the NFL draft happening on schedule.
Yeah.
Goodell came out and said,
"Yeah, Roger Goodell," and he made some good points. This is just something that we need right now. NFL is the only normalcy we're getting right now, and because of the nature of this part of the season for the NFL, it's business as usual for the most parts. Players can't get reviewed by team doctors, but they can agree on independent doctors to check with them. And I'm excited, actually. The worst part. I'm very sad for Vegas. Obviously, we just had the draft here last year, and it was so much fun. It was such a good event to actually go to, but as far as just watching the draft, I could do without all the fanfare and all the, flashy suits, and I don't really care. I just want to know where you're going, and I want them to talk about where you're going and what impact it has and what the teams are needing and why they took that. Did they go best available? So I'm excited that it's going on as usual. I'm excited to see kind of inside the war room a little bit more. I think what a dope way to draft. So what
are your thoughts? Do you think the actual NFL season is happening this year on schedule?
Man, I couldn't tell you. I think without getting, too into stuff that I may be speaking out of turn about, I think we really got to hardcore hit it now and early on this physical distancing, social distancing, trying to work from home if possible. So I think a lot of that is going to determine what we do about this now. If I had to guess, I would say probably not. Probably be pushed back a little bit.
But for the first regular season week is early September. I don't see everything being done ready for games. Because tell you what the NFL's not going to do, they're not playing in empty stadiums.
Oh, yeah. No,
that's not happening.
And that would be one of the few sports that it wouldn't even be kind of cool to watch a little bit.
Yeah.
Like an NBA game with no fans might actually be really awesome.
Same with hockey.
Because, in a hockey game with
it'd be cool to see one or two of them, yeah.
Sure. I mean, eventually it would wear on you. And, and it would look more like practice than anything. But I think it would be kind of cool. But football, I have literally zero desire to watch a football game with no real atmosphere around it. It just would seem really weird.
Yeah.
Because there's so much downtime in football just by the nature of it that it would get real old real quick watching folks stand around for 3 hours. I don't think it would be as intriguing of a ball game.
Yeah.
If you're asking me.
All right, man. So how about this last Sunday being the Ocho on ESPN2?
ESPN 8, the Ocho was I didn't get to watch it. Was Jason Bateman one of the commentators?
Oh, Cotton McKnight?
Cotton McKnight reprising his role in dodgeball, man. That would have been awesome. But they had some pretty funny sport. Stupid robot fighting league. They had marble runs, cherry pit spitting. Sign fighting, and that's I'm so sorry. Sign spinning. So they had the sign spinning world championships on there, man.
And I'm very sorry. Cotton McKnight was not Jason Bateman's character.
He was the one that talked
to Jason Bateman was Pepper. Pepper Brooks.
Okay, Pepper Brooks. But also the world stacking championships, 2000 world sport stacking championships. And also the 2019 Death Diving World Championship, Bobby. So
really
a big lineup. Well, it was the 2019, so you've missed it for an entire year and again. So yeah, a lot of these were just old events that they had probably in the old vault, and they're like, let's get death diving on, and obviously nobody has to worry about having seen it already. It's basically new. You can just pretend like this is a new thing.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool thing for ESPN to do. They're having to be creative like they were in the early days of SportsCenter.
So normally right now be going to our games of the week, but no games, so no games of the week. So instead we're going to talk a little bit about the best hockey dynasties of the modern era, meaning post-1960.
Yep.
So we're each going to pick one, talk about it, and we're going to let you, the fans, vote on Twitter about who you think was the better dynasty of the modern era. So why don't you go first and tell us the dynasty that you chose?
The dynasty I picked, I feel like it is for a pretty obvious choice, but Gretzky's late 80s run in Edmonton with the Oilers. I think that was probably the most iconic player, the most iconic run of a few years from a specific player. So got to see him at his peak of greatness. So that would be my choice. What about you, man? What are you bringing to the table today?
I went with one that I think a lot of people, it's kind of known as the greatest, and it's a little typical, but that is the 1970 through 1979 Montreal Habs.
Old Habnadians, huh?
Yeah, you've got...
Go Habs, baby.
Yeah, you've got Scotty Bowman the last 8 years at the helm of that team. You've got Ken Dryden's rookie run to the Conn Smythe. 6 cups in 9 years. That is absolute dominance.
Yeah, that was a really good choice, Bob. There's a couple of honorable mentions. The Penguins of the late 2010s, starting in 2009 there.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way modern hockey is, tough to win that many. Late 90s to about mid 2000s, the Detroit Red Wings, you could probably argue was a really strong dynasty.
The early 80s Islanders.
Oh yeah. Then they were consecutive. Yeah, they were right there in a row too. So there wasn't any really skip years in those. So as much as it pains me to say it, obviously you probably got to mention Patrick Kane's Blackhawks.
We don't have to.
You know what? Let's not mention it.
Yeah,
didn't happen. We're not going to bring it up. So, so I think that those are, but my favorite obviously is because of the Gretzky, and you probably picked the best overall team dynasty with as far as dominance goes.
One thing that I really find interesting about that Oilers one is that even after the trade, they went out and won a cup after getting rid of Gretzky.
Right. Exactly.
Which says a lot about that team. That would be like if Michael left and Scottie Pippen took the Bulls and won a title without Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, he got close a couple times, but no cigar, as they say. So yeah, that's impressive, and especially in hockey.
Real quick, guys, this past week we have a new t-shirt shop over at What a Maneuver. Check out any of our social media pages and you'll find the website link. You can also find the link in the description of this episode. Go on over. Shirts are about 20 something bucks. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops.
Don't forget onesies, bro.
Onesies,
you can get onesies for your children, because I know that your children are waiting with bated breath every week for us to drop the new episode. So here's a chance to get them all geared up. We're going to move outside of the NHL now. We wanted to talk about maybe a few, because again, we are starved for real content, a few free agent transactions that we maybe didn't get to bring up. Actually, I got an apology for this section. It's to you. I said that Packers drafted Favre and then drafted Rodgers. That's incorrect. The Atlanta Falcons drafted Brett Favre, and then he only played in 2 games for the Falcons, and then actually went over to the Packers. So,
and neither of us caught that when you said it.
I know.
Because once you told me, I have to apologize, I'm like, oh wait, that does sound right. I don't think Brett Favre was drafted last week. I didn't even catch it.
I'm not out here. I just, you guys know me. Sometimes I'm just talking, but I do try to correct myself if I was wrong. That's not super egregious. Nobody yelled at us about it or anything, but we are going to try to correct ourselves if we are wrong. So, but is there any Melvin Gordon landed? He landed at Denver, as we kind of spoke about. I mean, I guess it depends. I think that, especially from a fantasy viewpoint, I think you've taken 2 decent options and a pretty good option, and then you've made them all meh options. Yeah. I mean, unless you can get a steal in the drafting, and then maybe one of them gets hurt. Obviously, you never want to hope that, but it's a running back position, so I mean, it's going to happen. Melvin Gordon's prone to getting hurt. That makes a good move. Maybe as far as a team wise, obviously getting talent on your roster is never a bad thing for football as a football move. So
how did Philip Lindsay do last season in fantasy?
I mean, he had over 1,000 yards, but he was very inconsistent.
Was he an RB2? Was he still an RB1?
I think no, he was not an RB1. That is for sure. But Freeman stole so much work from him last year as well. I mean, he got over 1,000 yards. Philip Lindsay had a couple of great games that you're like, yes, but you definitely didn't play him in the games that it happened.
So I think in deep leagues, in very deep leagues, it takes him from an RB2 to a flex, maybe.
Yeah. I would say Lindsay's probably still going to be a good flex option, because he does have a couple of seasons where they're trying to put it on him. Doesn't have the draft pedigree, but it looked like that didn't matter last year. Now because Royce Freeman did have the draft pedigree, a first round pick, they're trying to push him, and I just feel like Philip Lindsay was always the better back. But I mean, obviously Melvin Gordon coming in, he has something to prove. This is what one of the superstar running backs that we were talking about within the last couple years. If it weren't, I mean, there were people that drafted last year before the holdout and probably took him 7 or 8 overall. So that's obviously a great move. He can win that backfield, I think, with is it Schottenheimer there?
Sounds right.
Sounds right. Correct us if we're wrong. But he's done one running back. The offensive coordinator's done one running back before. He's done multiple running backs. So we'll really have to see kind of what that means for the overall landscape in Denver. I think it's a good move for Denver as a football team. Fantasy wise, it may kind of hurt 3 players.
All right. So a couple more transactions in the NFL happened over the week. So let's talk about that for a bit, man.
I got a few that I wanted to bring up that we weren't able to bring up last week. For the Cowboys, I'm not going to do all these 3 individually. I'm just going to talk about some notable signings by the Cowboys. Obviously Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott. Prescott, they got on the franchise tag, and Cooper, they locked down. I think he gave him a little bit of a hometown discount, to stay in town there, because he really wants to win a championship. And they get on the right track, that might be possible. But Gerald McCoy on the defensive line will be a great addition for them. But, we had talked a little Broncos earlier on the offensive side of the football. But the defensive side of the football, they sign A.J. Boye, which was a great move for them. Jacksonville just unloaded them this season. So to be able to sign a premier cornerback like that, that's awesome. And then got Jarrell Casey for a 7th round pick from the Titans. And I know a lot of Titans fans are upset about that. We cleared up a whole bunch of cap room for that particular scenario, and they've really only made one move of signing Vic Beasley from the Falcons. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, because I know we got some probably more prevalent Titans listeners than anything. Maybe they made that move of KC to the Broncos for an opportunity for Jadeveon Clowney. That's what I'm hearing. I think Clowney is probably wanting too much money right now, so everybody's battling there. What do you think, man? AJ Bouye, great shutdown corner. You think Denver's bringing it this year? You think Denver's a potential playoff team? What do you?
Yeah, dude. I think they're definitely a good playoff team. Don't know if they have what it takes to compete with the big dogs. I think they're getting a first, second round bump.
Yeah,
but I don't see anyone in the league contending with the Niners, Kansas City, maybe Tampa now.
Yeah, sure. Tampa, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
I think you have to keep the Titans in that conversation by not losing a whole bunch of the pieces that made them what they were last year.
I disagree about the Titans. I think that was a one-trick pony that we saw last year.
But it's one of those things where Derrick Henry's been doing it, bro.
Yeah,
he's been.
Derrick Henry has the ability to do it. I don't think that the talent around him, it can do it.
Have you watched AJ Brown play?
Yeah,
football?
I was literally about to say that if AJ Brown brings it, if he doesn't have a sophomore slump, then that's definitely a possibility.
He's a beast.
But my issues are still with Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, to me, Ryan Tannehill is not a Super Bowl worthy quarterback.
I think that he showed that he could do what he needed to do. Obviously, he needs.
But then again, Eli Manning was a Super Bowl worthy quarterback. So
yes, he was. He was twice.
So
he was twice. Bobby.
Who knows anymore about what quarterbacks can do what?
No, but you're going in there with a different game plan as the Titans. We'll see. Denver's got a tough road ahead of them as well. John Gruden's not gonna lay it down. The Kansas City Chiefs aren't gonna lay it down. The Chargers seem like they're gonna be back in action, ready to go this coming up year. We'll see. The Broncos have made some moves. You can't say they haven't tried. John Elway has failed a lot of experiments up there as a general manager, though.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's sad to see. John Elway is one of the great football players. He doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing a whole lot of the time in the front office. So we'll kind of see how some of these moves work out. One move that I really, really wanted to talk, and I think you probably will as well. Manuel Sanders to the Saints, getting down there with Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and Jared Cook and Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray and
And I'm very happy about this because he almost went with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and that would have broke my heart.
Yeah, he has a real opportunity to go to a Super Bowl this year, and that would make him a little fun fact trivia for you: the first ever receiver to go to the Super Bowl with 4 separate teams. So, can you name those teams, Bobby?
I cannot.
Okay. I was thinking you were going to at least give it a shot.
I knew Broncos.
Okay, Broncos. Pittsburgh Steelers.
I didn't even know he was with the Steelers.
Yeah, that's where he started. Pittsburgh Steelers, and then obviously the Niners this year. So that would be 3. The Saints are looking like a favorite to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl this year. So that would obviously bring him to number 4 if he could do that. So good opportunity for him. I think that really hurts Jared Cook's fantasy value if it hurts anybody's. I think that Emmanuel Sanders has proven it time and time again that he can be a reliable option for a quarterback, and a smart quarterback like Drew Brees is gonna eat this up. So smart route runner. Most of his success last year was on was press man coverage, and you can beat press man, you still got it. You can still sit in the hole. So.
And I think one of the biggest issues the Saints have had for many years now is not having a legitimate number 2 behind Michael Thomas.
I can agree with that.
So now you can split that defense. They're going to be dangerous with the long ball.
I can most certainly agree with that. That's pretty much it for things that have happened. Vic Beasley, obviously I want to mention that, him going to the Titans, an edge rusher from the Falcons. Could be a good opportunity for him to step up to the plate. He was a first round draft pick about 3 years ago. He's only 27 years old. Maybe he'll find a new home in Tennessee and thrive here. I would love for him to be able to come in on that edge and play that stand up linebacker, defensive end role, and make an impact, because that's something that the Titans didn't have, was pressure on the quarterback last year, and that's something that's going to be necessary. Quarterback or no, you got to get to the quarterback in this league if you want to have some success long term.
Yeah. But one thing I will say, though, for the Titans' favor, their road became a lot easier over the offseason.
It absolutely did. We talked a little bit about that last week with all the moves that happened, that the only real downturning move for the Titans in the division was possibly Phillip Rivers to Indianapolis. That gives them a little more sure of a quarterback to kind of lead them and not lose football games.
Yeah.
Maybe not go out and win a game. Not that he can't, but they need a quarterback to not lose them football game, which has been their big problem.
And I mean, the Jags are back to being that poverty trash franchise that they've been, so they're not much of a worry anymore.
Shad Khan, I think that's what he wants, man. I'll tell you this right now. I mean, it's pretty much in the stars that he wants to move this team to London.
Yeah.
As a divisional opponent of Jacksonville, hard no. Hard no. Playing football across the pond once a year is a tough sell.
I mean, they would have to. I mean, I assume they would align the divisions if they went to London, right? They would do something.
Well, I would say that
I would assume that would come when they add maybe a couple more teams, maybe one in London, maybe one in Manchester, maybe one in Ireland, and then move a team, maybe an expansion team, move a team back down south.
One would hope, but I mean, you're going to get into the situation where like nobody wants to go to England to play football, you know?
I would love to see a team in London.
I don't think logistically it would work. That it's shown time and time again that it's been so hard on these guys.
Yeah, 100%.
There and do it.
As a fan, I'd love to see it, but logistically speaking, realistically speaking,
yeah.
And not to mention, you know, people use these one-off games that we see once a year when we see the fans full in Wembley. Mm-hmm. Okay, filling one game, 3 games a year is not the issue.
That's like
filling a team stadium 17 weeks.
Right.
That is when it becomes difficult.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because you're not because right now you're getting fans of every NFL team going to that game.
Right.
Eventually, the fans of every team are going to stop going to the same team every week.
I don't know, man. Football is fun to go to.
I get that, but
especially when you've never.
But also, you got to remember that these people, like, they're not. Most of the people going to the game are not from London. These are people from Scotland, Ireland.
That's
like Wales. So you're asking these people to travel 17 weeks to go.
But But not much further than if you happened to be a fan of the Tennessee Titans and lived in Northeast Tennessee. You know, I mean, that's 4 or 5 hour drive. That's about and their public infrastructure is going to be better as well to get them in and out of stadiums. And that's something that Europe has shown that they're ahead of us in is public transport. I mean, I agree with you. That's definitely the downfall for potentially moving a team there. But I'm not for moving a team there anyway.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, because that'd be hard on guys that play on those teams that were going to be perennially bad. In my opinion, if they move a team there, a single team there.
I mean, I'm an Anglophile, so seeing a team there. I mean, I would want to make the trip out there to see a pro team.
Oh, I would absolutely. I mean, you know me, I'm all about an event. But what I'm talking about is just as a non-fan, I think that you're gonna get worse football because of it.
Yes,
and that's the ultimate thing. Is
the biggest issue is teams traveling there.
But you want better football.
Yeah. Like the Niners having to travel there and then having to play the next week.
Right.
You know, it's just you'd have to travel there 4 days in advance, 3 days in advance just to get some practice and get,
get acclimated.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even then you still going to have, obviously they've been trying to set this up to where when teams go there this year, they have a bye afterwards. And so that works now. But if you have a game there every week, eventually you're not going to be able to have a bye the week after going to London. And then who gets that draw? Who has to go to London and then not come back and basically not only potentially lose the one game because of the travel and the difference of what you're doing and where you're playing, but then also lose 2 because of the travel. And, you know, that would be a hard sell for even any of the owners, in my opinion.
I mean, I love the stuff that Khan does. I mean, he created the AEW, and I'm a big fan of AEW. I mean, he's got a great mind for business.
Beer me Blazer, by the way. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying he's like backwards thinking or the worst owner in the league, but I just don't want that to be an option to have a London team. I think it will will hurt the NFL. Not that they're asking me, not that they care. I mean, if the money and the dollar signs are right, they're going to do it.
Yeah, they asked me for my input, and I said maybe hold off for a couple of years.
He said, let's see where it takes us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good call, Bobby. I mean, obviously we established that you get more clout than me. All the peoples are calling you. That's fine. I'm going to just sit over here and just have an opinion in my heart. So if you need my opinion to give them, you just let me know, bro. I'm going to see you right over here.
Do we have any more transactions to go over? Are we done with transactions? What's up?
I think that's pretty much it, bro. I think that's all that I wanted to bring up immediately. So I think we got to move into a mid-roll, though,
It's time for mid-roll, baby. Today's episode of Pucks Out Podcast is brought to you by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Sierra Nevada has been family-owned and operated since 1980. The number one craft brand in 2018 continues to be the number one selling hazy IPA and the fastest-growing craft brand in 2020. Go get yourself the 2019 gold medal winning Hazy Little Thing IPA and experience the crisp and refreshing Magnum hops that they have to offer. Now back to the show. All right, guys, welcome back. Time for Joke of the Week. We've got 2 more for you this week. So let's move into the first joke.
Which one do you want to read, man?
I'll take Missouri man charged with licking items at Walmart to mock coronavirus fears, and he's been charged, I believe, with terrorism.
Terrorist threats. Yeah.
Terrorism threats. That is, first off, screw him.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that the charges, was there no way to get some war crimes
Yeah.
involved was really going to be my question. Because first of all, who has the time? I'm so busy lately that I don't have time to go and lick grocery store items. And
this isn't the only person that's got caught. I believe there was a lady.
Oh, there's been plenty of them.
Well, there was a lady in the UK that, I think it was like $60,000 worth of products she ruined because she licked them.
Yeah, I did see that. And they had to throw them out and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, the thing is, if you're the person that decides they want to lick all that stuff, then you're definitely the type of person that we have to throw all of this stuff out because, you're the type of person that licks a whole bunch of stuff in a grocery store. So, yeah, what a joke. That's a little more serious than mine.
And just to call you out, Mr. Cody Pfister from St. Louis.
Oh, you're good. I thought you were calling me out. No. I was like, dang, dude. I was like, I've never done this, bro. Like, I've done a lot of stuff, man. Do not sell me out to the peoples, dude.
No, but this dude had the audacity to he posted it himself to social media.
Hold on. Since you did say his name, he allegedly did all of this stuff. I just don't want to get sued later on, bro.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So he allegedly did all this stuff. There happens to be a bunch of video, and they knew exactly it was him. So there seems to be evidence stacked against him. We don't specifically know one way or the other, so don't sue us, sir.
Yeah.
You seem like a litigious kind of guy. All right, so mine, a little more jokey, I guess. The FA was forced to confirm that they're not going to be using Wembley Stadium to cook the world's largest lasagna. So it was up in the air, I guess, and they had to come out and confirm that no, this will not be taking place. It was a misinformation and rumor campaign out there as it goes. So unfortunately for all you lasagna lovers out there, we're not going for the record during this quarantine. What a joke, right? Why would you have to confirm that? I feel like the person that falls for the fact that we're going to use this big stadium, this $1 billion stadium to cook the world's biggest lasagna, logistically, what? How would just having a big place doesn't mean now that you can now cook a big lasagna, so what a joke. I think we really went off on a tangent there.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be using Wembley Stadium to make the world's biggest lasagna. What a joke.
So are you ready to talk serious stuff for a little bit?
I hope not. What do you got for me? I hope it's not too serious.
We teased it in last week. That is your hatred for Batman.
I'm so sorry. I forgot how absolutely serious that was. Yeah, no, I think that's what I want to do, man. I want to talk a little bit about Batman.
So why don't you give us a quick rundown? Don't go too far into the tangent because I know you can.
Go too far. I could be here for days. I could write
Let's not do your TED Talk right now.
I could write a dissertation on this, Bobby.
Because we're going to talk both Batman and Superman. And I know you hate both.
A distaste for both of them. And which one you want me to start with?
Let's start with Batman.
Batman truly holds a major place of distaste in my heart. He's not even a superhero, Bobby. Just number one, he's just a really, really rich guy. He's like basically like Elon Musk if he was cooler and trained.
So should I let you go all the way, rant, and then come back with my rebuttal, or should we rebuttal as you go?
Let's just let me go through it, and I'm gonna let you hit with some rebuttals with them, and then we can have a discussion.
Go for it.
Why I'm absolutely right, and you're the most wrong person I've ever met.
Okay.
So obviously, just being the super rich guy, and see like things like him sitting around at his like restaurants and his dinner parties, and him shit talking Batman. He's like, oh man, this Batman, he's really thrown a wrench into the city. He can't believe how much destruction and terror he's causing in the town. Well, first of all, you can pay for it. You're like a billionaire. You're a super, super rich guy, and you're causing all of the trouble. So like that number one, already an issue that he's just not a superhero. He's just a really, really rich guy that destroys the city. And Batman is the reason that there are all these terrible people in Gotham City. There's no Joker without the Batman. There's no Penguin without the Batman. Like, he's wronged these people specifically. And
okay, so you're wrong on the Penguin part. The Penguin was a crime lord before Batman. Before Batman was even on the scene, Penguin was a crime lord. He's much older than Batman. And second, I will agree with you. The whole Bruce Wayne shit-talking Batman, I can't stand it. Because he's not doing it to actually shit-talking. He's doing it to bait people into being like, oh, but I really like Batman. He's doing it. He's fishing for compliments. That's what he's doing.
But like, he's also, his only form of like not showing you who he is half of a mask, and you can see the bottom half of his face and still see his eyes, mind you. But he just talks in a deeper voice. He's
that's all superhero logic. Let's be honest. That's in all superheroes. That the logic is if you just put on a tiny little mask, people just forget who you are.
Yeah,
that is not just for Batman.
But correct. But
if anything, he wears more of a mask than most superheroes.
Correct. But I'm saying he's a polarizing individual that's like in the news and stuff all of the time. There hasn't been any like comparisons. Like, dude, like everybody would have the internet and be able to look these up and be like, look, this is the same guy. They're like, who in the world in this whole town can afford super dope car like that?
Listen,
I have no idea.
When it comes to that kind of stuff, I've always accepted, whether it's DC or Marvel, that is, you just have to suspend it. Because let's be honest.
Oh, sure. A suspension of
Oliver Queen straight up just throws his hood on and people doesn't know who he is. He doesn't even have a mask. He just throws a green hood on. He's like, oh, I'm Green Arrow now. Yeah. It's like, nah, dude, you literally just threw your hood up.
Yeah, right. But the hood at least like covers, like Batman is like, Green Arrow for a time there was a little bit of a polarizing figure. But then he kind of went more underground and started operating a little quieter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Batman has like people that just have a big sign to put a light up in the air. Say like, we need you, bro.
Listen, I'll be honest. I'm going to defend Batman for the sake of this argument. I'm not the biggest Batman fan. I don't really care. I don't hate him. I don't like him.
Right. You're a neutral party.
Yes, but I do understand why he's important. He's more than just a rich guy. Yeah. He trained with the League of Shadows. He is he's a master of every form of martial arts. He even created his own form of martial arts.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you're a billionaire and you got the time, you can do that kind of stuff.
No, and
Bobby.
I
know what I'm
saying?
Yeah. So like, you know what would have gone a lot further, Batman, is you to build up the infrastructure here a little bit.
Well,
buddy.
he did help maintain the monorail in Gotham.
Yeah, because he destroys it every 3 episodes, like every movie he destroys it. And so, yeah, he's got to pay a little bit to maintain it because that's how he gets places.
One of your biggest things is that he's not actually a superhero, that he doesn't have any powers.
Yeah, no, yes and
but
no.
Then, this is an argument for later. Because what I'm saying is that, Batman, one of the things why he's so popular is that he's believable.
Okay.
He is human.
But let me hit you with this. No, the reason I don't like him is not because he's just a super rich guy with no powers, because I freaking love Iron Man, okay, which is basically Tony Stark. But you want to know why I love Tony Stark? Is because Tony Stark owns who he is. Batman and Bruce Wayne are two different people, whereas Iron Man is just Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not real with it. And that's what I don't like about Batman, is that he is different when he's Bruce Wayne.
So, and I get that. I think the difference for that is because in the DC, in the Marvel universe, they didn't really outlaw superheroes. They didn't outlaw vigilantes. They weren't attacking them and hunting them. In DC, they straight up...
He would have been fine, because again, he's just a guy. So, just saying.
No, but what I'm saying is they would have they put Batman on like the most wanted list.
You obviously have never heard of the Sokovia Accords.
I did. But no, listen, so
I hear what you're saying, but at this point it's so ingrained in me that any real point that you make is not going to
No, and I get that. We've been having this conversation for like 5-6 years now about Batman.
And I'll have it, and I'll have it till I die.
But let's talk now. This one I do take seriously because he is my favorite superhero, and that is your absolute disdain for Superman.
He's everything.
Yes.
He's every superpower and superhero, making him like invulnerable, which is the exact opposite of Batman to me. Like I like the superheroes that have like specific powers of like what they can do, and like Superman can fly, Superman can see through buildings, Superman can write at the newspaper. Who even has newspaper jobs anymore, man? Like, that's impressive.
Well, he's not really a good journalist, so that's one weakness. He's not great at his job.
Well, I mean, he's an alien, for goodness sake. So that is something that really wears on me. But see, it's so funny because I don't feel that way about Supergirl, which I enjoy the show.
I've actually never seen the show.
It's actually not too bad.
I think I've seen 1 or 2 episodes, and my wife watches. And I actually, now during this quarantine, I probably will sit down and watch some of it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know. I think it was just like a growing up, like just doing everything was, and also like, why doesn't somebody just get some kryptonite bullets and hook them up in a machine gun and just?
They have. That's been done.
Okay.
And he was critically injured and out, and it took Martian Manhunter. Wait, can I spoil the show Smallville for you?
Yeah, I'm never going to watch it.
Okay, so this is not exactly, but pretty much it took Martian Manhunter, John Jones, to fly him in. He had to sacrifice himself. Superman was going to die, but he feeds off the yellow sun. So Martian Manhunter had to fly him through into the center of the sun just to get him alive. So yes, he's been killed.
So
but
that's, you know,
so he does rely, like with the Justice League. Superman can't do it all on his own because he does find, like when they fight aliens, he still goes against aliens that are just as strong as him sometimes, so he has to fight them.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look,
and that's why Lex Luthor is his. There are 2 people that can truly beat Superman, and you should like what Batman is one of the few people that can beat Superman because he prepares, which is another reason why Batman is good, because he never goes into a situation unprepared.
Batman, Superman, I hate them both. I'll never agree to you.
You're a big Lex Luthor guy.
I love Lex Luthor. Okay, he makes so much sense, and his sister Lena Luthor, also dope. Okay, I'm just saying, I've always had a deep hatred for them. I never will have I won't like them. I just can't now. It's ingrained inside of me. I've grown too deep into my distaste for them. So while I hear what you're saying, I don't care, Bobby. I hate them. I always will hate them. You want to bring it up on the next episode, I'll say the same thing. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you know how I feel about this. You know how it was going to get me ranting on it. But tell me why I'm wrong. I mean, everybody tries to. So, but it's either one of 2 things that people tell me on these theories. You're absolutely right, or like, I hate you and I hope that you die. And I'm okay with either. I understand. People love Batman, and I get it.
Yeah. Well, I don't love Batman. I don't hate Batman. To me, he's always just been kind of like a side character.
He's just a guy.
Because I've always liked Joker, not because of what he does, because I find that as from a movie standpoint, it takes acting chops to be Joker. It doesn't really take much acting chops to be the Batman.
Sure. I mean, they let Ben Affleck do it.
So I want to go real quick and defend. I thought Ben Affleck was a great Batman. He didn't play a good young Batman, but as an older, almost retired Batman, he played that part really well. And while I don't like Zack Snyder as a director, his casting for that movie was great.
Well, you want to know why, though? It's because Batman is not that intriguing of a guy.
No, 100%. He is one-dimensional.
Basically, his butler should be the Batman.
No, yeah, Alfred's but they wrote it like that. Alfred was always the multi-dimensional one with you never know truly what. But with Batman, you get what you get. He's a dude who dresses like a bat who can kick people's ass.
Agree to agree.
All right, man. So let's get into our favorite superheroes. Let's just do a quick top 5. Do you want to start off with your number 5?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my number 5. And this is just a quick jot down. Got them together.
We did it about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, could come in changing ultimately, but I think I'm going to go with Hulk at my number 5.
Me too, bud.
Yeah, Hulk at number 5 here. I mean, it's just such a cool because Hulk. I mean, obviously not counting Endgame. But Hulk and Bruce Banner are two people. They're completely separate from one another. And it's such an intriguing story. And he's so powerful, and he's such a big asset when you can control him, and such a potential liability when you can't.
I love it when he becomes Professor Hulk.
Yes,
that is one of my favorite Hulks.
Well, and Mark Ruffalo, so good.
He does
such a good
But even
job.
in the comics, Professor Hulk is just so. I mean, Mark Ruffalo played him so well to the comic books.
Yes, he really, really did. And so, I mean, I loved him in Endgame. The scene when he's sitting there with Paul Rudd
and the tacos.
Well, that's funny, but no, when he's sitting there with Paul Rudd and those people come to take a picture with Hulk, he's like, "Oh, I'm Ant-Man," and they're like, "Oh, okay," and Hulk's like, "Oh, I mean, you want him to take a picture with you?" And then at the end, they get to feeling bad. They're like, "We'll take a picture with you, man." He's like, "No, you don't really want to." And so that's. I
need to see that movie again, man.
It's super good and. Stay green. He hits him with it. Yeah, so Hulk is awesome, and so on top of that, I mean, and Ragnarok is so good. He was such a good asset to the crew. So that's how I got at number 5. Obviously, you do as well.
Yeah. So my number 4 is Thor, and directly related to moving into Ragnarok. He was and I think it has to do with not just the character from the comic books that I loved,
the legend though, the myth.
I mean, he's so powerful. There was always the debate in the comic book world who can beat Superman, because Superman was one of the Superman was one of the original superheroes, so they did overpower him because he came first,
right?
And then they were really like, maybe we should not make everyone as powerful as that because he's so powerful,
right?
But Thor could fight Superman for a bit.
Yeah, and it has a good, at least it has good, and see, I like the backstory behind that, how these are stories that were taken from mythical stories here on Earth.
Yeah.
And then they were included in this comic book series, and then this is why that they're a part of it. So I agree. I may be speaking on that in a minute or two. But my number 4, I have Iron Man.
Nice.
Tony Stark, and I guess that would kind of include the Stark Empire that Howard Stark kind of started S.H.I.E.L.D. and kind of put Tony on his path, and exactly the reasons that I dislike Batman are all the reasons that I like Iron Man, is because he is who he is. He is just a super rich guy, but he did try to do his part. He did stop his company from selling weapons at the cost of potential money, and was the brains of the Avengers operation, and sometimes seemingly didn't get his due that you thought that he should have got, just because Captain America was like 90 something. So I guess it's my turn to move into number 3.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Love Spider-Man. Every reiteration. There's some people I don't feel like play Spider-Man good, but just the storylines, and it's just this high school kid, and Tom Holland plays him so well, dude. He plays him so good, and what you imagine Spider-Man being, but just the odds and the chances that it just seems like it's always an even fair fight.
So I'll be honest, I despised Spider-Man before Tom Holland took the reins. When Tom Holland took over, he won me over. That's how good of an actor he was and how well he played that role. I went from not liking Spider-Man, never really played the video game Spider-Man because I just didn't like him. I thought he was boring.
Right.
To he quickly, I mean, he didn't make my list, but I really like Spider-Man now with this new actor.
Yeah.
So going into my number 3, that is Green Lantern, but more specifically Hal Jordan as Green Lantern.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know much about Green Lantern. There's been multiple Green Lanterns in the comic books.
Not a
so
big
right
DC
now
guy.
I think Jon Stewart. Well, not Jon Stewart from the Daily Show, but
interesting choice.
Yeah. He got real political there for a bit. But no, Jon Stewart Green Lantern in the Batman animated series is really good, but I like Hal Jordan from the New 52. He was really good in that.
And he can basically just like make ghost things appear, right? Like
he can fly. He can. I mean, it's more than he's super powerful.
I get a big hammer and it's like comes out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is sort of similar to what you said with Thor. I have Thor, but I have kind of like the / the Asgardians because of like the Odin lore. And again, one of my reasons of they're one of my favorites is because of the actual lore that they like incorporate from Viking mythology.
Yeah.
Like the Odin and the Loki being the trickster, and you have Hela, and then you have Heimdall, the ruler of the Bifrost, aka Idris Elba. That's just, it's such a cool story and such a cool selling point to me. I know I already said this during your portion, but I kind of cheated and kind of included all of those, just really the Asgardians because of, and I've actually, you'll be pleased to know, I've got about 4 or 5 episodes into Vikings. So
finally, dude, I can't wait to talk about that.
Started for you, bro.
You like it so far?
Liking it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
So moving into my number 2, that's The Punisher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. That seems like your style of.
The movie that came out a while ago with Thomas Jane as the Punisher.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
The most recent Netflix show with
Jon Bernthal.
Is that his name? The guy from Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane.
Shane kills it as the Punisher.
He's such a good actor, too.
Yeah. He plays such a good asshole, which you have to be to play the Punisher.
Right. This may be a unpopular opinion, but Shane on The Walking Dead, he was the only right one. They killed him for being right, because that's how everybody started acting 2 episodes or 2 seasons from then, was like he was trying to act in the beginning. So I just want to throw that out for my boy John. They killed you, bro. Of course you're going to bang your girlfriend, your best friend's wife, dude. You're trying to protect her and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. You thought he was dead. Okay, so who do you got for number 1, bro?
Said it earlier. It's always been my number 1 favorite. I read his comics. I watch the movies. I watch the shows.
Why don't you marry him, bro?
And that is Superman. Okay. Listen, a lot of superheroes, they have their secret identity.
Right.
And their secret identity is the superhero. With Superman, Clark Kent is his secret identity. He is Superman.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And he has to disguise himself as a regular person.
So he throws on some glasses.
And a button up.
That's it.
But it's more than that. I don't believe this is one of his abilities, but in a comic book, they said that one of his abilities was able to trick people's minds, and everyone was like, getting a little out of off the wall here.
Too far.
But he does like hunch over and make himself seem smaller.
He's like a nerd. He's like a classic beta when he's Clark Kent.
But the whole thing is that the reason he took the job at the newspaper and stuff is that he put himself into a position that he would be looked over. Nobody's paying attention to the guy going to the office, 9 to 5, working in the basement of the newspaper.
Right.
That's why, he turned down promotions. He turned down the big story, because to keep that identity. But I always thought it was silly. Oh, I'm going to throw on these glasses and just.
Well, and it's funny because in Supergirl, Kara Danvers, that's Supergirl.
Yeah.
She is like trying to be like she's like Peter Parker was in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. She, I got an exclusive with Supergirl type of stuff, and like she just wears glasses and a ponytail.
Yeah,
so, like,
where Clark Kent didn't do that. Clark Kent didn't want to talk about Superman. He wasn't like, oh, look at these pictures I got of Superman. Oh, that looks like a selfie. Yeah. No, he definitely tried to keep his distance.
Jimmy Olsen. They got Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl.
Cool.
So he's transferred over to Central City from wherever they're at. So he's in there. So
Jimmy, from what I saw, Jimmy Olsen started out in Smallville because he grew up with Superman.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. He's there though in Supergirl now.
Superville.
Okay, so my number 1, because my number 1 superpower, and don't at me. Actually, do at me if you think that there's something different. But it's no question. There's no doubt in my mind. If there's one superpower that I could have, and you know what we should do next week? Superpower draft. Okay,
right.
We'll do a 3-pick superpower draft, and our 2 superheroes will face off against each other on Twitter. Whoever people think that wins. Okay, let's do that next week. My top 101 superpower: super speed. There's no question that it's absolutely the best form of any type of superpower. It's better than flying. It's better than super strength, because with the super speed, you get all of the same qualities from flying and from superpower because of simple mathematics. You go fast enough, you can cause those things. So the Flash is my number one superhero. I love the Flash. I love the fake science that's involved in the TV show on Flash. I haven't even been keeping up, but I watched probably 4 seasons or 5 seasons or so. And I just love I know that science is not real, but like the way that they pretend like, all right, so basically what you got to do here is you got to spin your arms real fast and you're going to create this vacuum. And, like just all that bull crap that's like fake. And I know that's not real, but like maybe it has like a hint of realism. So the Flash is my number one superhero, because I just love super speed, and I think it's the absolute best.
So that's going to be your 101 next week, because you got the first pick, because I had the first pick last week.
I got the first pick. You just know that I'm getting super speed, and whatever else you get, I'm still going to top you, because I'm going to add in. Yeah, so because I know you got the first pick in the NHL mascot draft. So I'll be getting first pick next week. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you tune in so you can be ready for your pick 102.
All right, so we've got a new segment. It's kind of built in with this or that, with everything going on. To fill some time, we got a game called Answer the Internet, and pretty much it's just kind of this or that questions, or would you rather questions, or just questions in general.
Okay.
The tagline of it is questions as effed up as you are. So
it's a tough bill to try to sign up for.
Yeah.
Let's see. If
so usually with this or that, we prepare for them, and we know this. We're picking randomly. And this week we'll just do one, because we're at about an hour right now. This says, would you rather be able to eat as much as you want without getting fat, or never have to pay for any meals?
I think, that's a tough one.
Oh, it's an easy one for me. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm probably not paying for meals, to be honest with you.
Well, we know who's never been overweight then, because I'm telling you right now, I'd rather eat as much as I want without ever gaining fat.
The answer to that was me. Yeah, I just, that's so much money that I spend on just basically food. I just feel like if I can pocket that and spend it on beer, I'm absolutely gonna be overweight, because I'm not paying for meals. So like, ergo, I'm just going to eat more probably. But yeah, that just sounds so nice. And since it's not going to happen, I just want to have my hypothetical wallet be fatter because of it.
So now it's moving into the actual this or that. And we actually, you don't know it. Do you know what this one is yet?
I haven't even seen it, bro. I'm not
all right,
not even preppered at all.
This week we've got, every year you have to heart emoji the last 30 pictures posted by your ex on social media, or you always miss your exit when you're driving.
Okay, so my question for this is going to be on, like, basically, is it just like the exit you plan on taking?
So if you're planning on taking an exit to go somewhere, you miss it. You always miss it. You've either got to take the next one and detour, or get on the next one and turn back around, and then.
I'm just trying to like see how far in advance that, because living in Nashville, if I plan to take a specific exit, that could work out in my favor.
Whatever you plan to take, you miss it.
Okay. So even in my head, if I'm like planning on planning it's
always going to be a detour. It's always going to be like, oh.
Every year, do I get to choose the picture, or does it have to be just like
the last 30
pictures?
The last 30 that they posted.
Hey, it's your the pictures of your ex day, and then you just got to go like 30 of them.
You don't get to pick the pictures.
The last 30.
Yes,
I got it.
So that could go back. That could go back a while.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it depends on how much they post.
And it's not like it's the same ex every year.
Well,
so this year it's
it's just a rando X.
No, it goes by the first year is the last X you had. The second year is the X before that.
Then I absolutely choose that one, just because my life is going to be spiced up so much. Because is it just going to like tell you like, hey, you got to go like Joe Schmo, and I never dated anybody named Joe Schmo, Jane Smo, and you just got to go like their photos now.
January 1st, you gotta go heart the pat, and it's not a like, it's a heart.
I would much rather do that, dude. You know me. If I started missing exits every day, like, dude, I would be so irritable all the time. I'm like a planner. Like, I know where I need to go, like, generally. So like, No, that'd kill me. Obviously, I'm gonna choose I'm just gonna go with the random liking exes of liking pictures of exes.
No, and I'm on the same boat because even if I miss one, I'm just like it's a ruiner for it ruins my day for like 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm just so upset
for sure. Right, and see again, like I can miss exits and it'll be fine ultimately for time wise and like where I'm going and stuff, but like it just make me mad. Dude.
Yeah,
like so I'm.
But harding your ex's last 30 pictures, like it would be awkward.
Now it would be awkward for sure. But now what we're really gonna find out is is after this releases on Wednesday or Thursday of this coming up week, and your wife and my girlfriend listen to it. We're going to find out if we picked right or not because we may have just dug ourselves a grave over a hypothetical question.
Well, I can tell you right now, just tell them, oh, so you're driving everywhere then. Because if I pick that, you're driving everywhere.
But see, the thing is, the fight or the upsetness is going to be real when this question is hypothetical. So what if they're driving us everywhere, Bobby? We're not ever actually going to miss the exit. So what I'm saying is we could have just picked the exit thing, been completely safe, but we like to live on the edge in the quarantine, bro. We can't even go out of the house. They can't even send us out to get a beer at a bar right now, bro. So we're really testing our luck.
Yeah. So let's move into what are you binging?
What are you binging, man? Why don't you start? You started.
So last week I talked about how I started it and we finished it, and that is Hunters on Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. So
amazing show. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Because I can't wait for you to finish it because I was gonna after the show talk to you about it because there's a big thing, but I'm not zipping my mouth.
That's what she said.
Yep. But yeah, I'm excited for you to finish it, dude. So, I whipped out the margarita machine that my wife got me at our wedding day, and we've been having some quarantine margs, man. We've got some. I had a question. I didn't know if margarita mix goes bad. I've had some margarita mix in my fridge for like a year and a half. It does not.
Oh yeah, well that's good for you. And, good. Drinking you some margs, getting you some Hunters going. I'm about 7, so I only got a little bit left to go. So I'm not super far behind. Let me ask you this. Cliffhanger. Does it end on a cliffhanger?
Oh, yeah.
I do not like that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
so
like that.
I'm not going to spoil anything,
Don't
but like,
spoil it.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, I wonder if there's going to be a season 2. And she's like, I don't know. They might just wrap everything up in a nice little bow. I'm like, so I like look it up and like nothing's been confirmed for a season 2 at the end. I'm like, oh, they better have a season 2. Yeah. You don't get to leave us on that.
When you got Al Pacino attached, I'm pretty sure you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe he dies or something. So. Don't do this to me, Sean Bean. Don't do this to me. Okay, so I'm gonna stop trying to spoil the show for myself, and I guess I'm gonna move into what am I binging. Obviously, as I've told you guys a couple weeks ago, Law and Order SVU still on the old docket. Okay, so I've kind of moved past some of the weird storylines. It's kind of getting towards the end of Elliot Stabler, but that's not what I got on the list because I've revamped my watching of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine?
Yes, I love the 9-9, Jake and all the gang.
It is the best show on TV right now.
It is super good. I completely agree, and I really like the fact that NBC bought it after it went off of Fox because they're able to play around with so many more jokes that Fox itself won't play with.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn Nine-Nine, obviously Andy Samberg, and it's really good because he's got some range, dude.
He does. Range.
But as much as I love Andy Samberg,
Andre Bauer
as freaking Captain Raymond Holt is great, and freaking Boyle, dude.
Yeah.
I love Boyle. Like just some of his little one-off lines that he like when he's talking to Gina after their parents have got married, and he goes, well, if it isn't my former lover, hello, sister. And just like little things like that.
Did you see the episode where Boyle got the leather jacket?
Oh yeah. I've watched through it a couple of times. So love the show. I really will suggest if while you're teamed up at home, while you're quarantined up, you go check out Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's all on Hulu. Super, super funny.
I will say the best scene of that show ever, and it's all over Facebook, is the Backstreet Boys scene where
Yes.
the lineup and they do the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
it is hilarious.
Yes, yeah, and there's so many spots.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so many spots that, I mean, again, like you said, Captain Ray Holt, his one-liners sometimes are just perfect.
Yeah.
When he switches his code name from don't call me Wet Blanket, call me Velvet Thunder. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine, obviously I've come last week. I came with Miller Lite. Technically that is still true, but I'm binging sleep, dude. I've been sleeping when I can, getting some good Z's to be well rested for my battle ahead during my day. So sleep, but again, Miller Lite was really the answer to that. If we're forcing me to pick a binge drink,
Yeah.
let's move into What Snaps Your Stick, brought to you by Sierra Nevada.
Tastes like home.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Actually, hand me another one of them brewskis, bro. All right. So I just came up with mine today. You seem like you're a little more prepared and well thought out. Why don't you hit us with your snapping your stick, buddy, sports-wise?
So for the sports, and that is retired players who start bashing current ones.
Are you talking about Charles Barkley?
Just to start things off.
Technically, he's an analyst.
Yeah. But, one thing that made Kobe one of the greatest of all times was his ability to not just not talk shit about current players, but help them.
Sure.
Talk about their positives, go and work with them one-on-one. That's your sport. That the sport gave you your livelihood.
Right.
You should want that sport to continue on. You should have pride in that sport. You should see the younger generation coming. You should want them to be better than you.
Right.
And yeah, Michael has kind of stayed out of the spotlight. He doesn't really, work with them. He kind of is doing his own thing. He's earned that. But it's great seeing the older players coming in, helping the younger players, guys like John Elway. He stays active. He got a management role. He's helping these young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just,
it's frustrating to watch that, and sometimes, and I love Charles Barkley, and I love the drama that he brings to the game. But I agree with you; he doesn't necessarily have beefs and feuds with young guys. Like, we got to remember, these guys are 23, 24 years old. They're they got millions of dollars and nothing but time when they ain't playing basketball. So
yeah, sometimes
a guy like Charles Barkley needs to take the high road and not smack talk and not reply to. I agree with that. You're on the field smack talking, jawing back and forth. That's one thing, but once you start talking outside of the actual game, I start to lose a little bit of respect towards what And again, I get it. Charles Barkley's there for ratings, not for mentorship.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but at the same time, you can do both. There's an opportunity to do both. So that's pretty good, man. It's not super polarizing.
No.
Or anything. It's just hey, you kind of hate this when it happens. My sports answer that I have is when players act like Joe Theismann or Eli Manning, as a more popular example of, I'm not playing for this team. Manning did it to the Chargers. Theismann did it to who?
Dolphins.
Again, the Dolphins. And
he came from the CFL, got drafted by the Dolphins and the Redskins, and he wanted to go to the Redskins.
If you wanted the opportunity to pick where you worked, then you should have got a finance degree or attempted to
finish your rookie contract and request a trade.
Yes. Yeah. Or just not re-sign back with that,
Yeah.
And so even in Joe Theismann's case, like, I can see the NFL was a lot more owner oriented during that time frame.
Yeah.
But for Eli Manning to act the way that he acted, it was
he was a crybaby.
He was a crybaby about it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, doing that completely altered not just my view on him, but on Alton Manning's. And it took a while for me to get mature. I matured. I was a little kid. And
Peyton didn't do that.
No, it was just it was a while. It's been a couple years since I was like, oh, screw the Mannings. But then I grew up. I was like, I actually really like Peyton. And, the moment I started seeing his nationwide commercials, I was like, I like Peyton.
And see, that's the hard part for me, is because Eli is a less funny version of Peyton to me. I really like him. I like the commercials they do together. I liked him on Saturday Night Live. But
he's a not funny version. I've never found Eli to be. I mean, no. I mean, yeah, he's
because
less funny.
your distaste for him. You get something stuck in your head and you can't look past it, bro. I know that about you. Okay. What I'm saying
like Batman.
is kind of like me with Batman, right? If you're able to admit it,
Eli's my Batman.
Eli is your Batman, and so. But that's also because Eli Manning beat the Patriots 2 times in the Super Bowl, bro. Don't pretend like that doesn't reach up inside your head every time you think about it.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. So the fact that he did that to the Chargers and made it so public and made it so crybaby and made it, I'm going to go to my daddy and we're going to do this. It was, it's something I don't like. It really snapped my stick and it's, it sticks in my craw because we're going to talk in a couple episodes about potential Hall of Famers, and Eli will be on that list with Phillip Rivers. It goes from not as great of an actual playing career and to Super Bowls. Like, Super Bowls are important to me, and some people don't find them as important, but like
they're very important to me.
I find them very important. And if I were to get a vote for the Hall of Fame, like you do, Bobby, because of all your clout. It's one of the factors to me because winning a Super Bowl and leading a team to a Super Bowl matters.
Yeah, that's why everyone plays the game. People aren't playing the game for individual awards. They're playing the game to win a Super Bowl.
I could, all the times I couldn't tell you the Patriots records for the years that Tom Brady won a Super Bowl, but I could tell you that he won a Super Bowl that year. But yeah, so exactly, that's a good one for me. Do you got a non-sports that you
Yes, I do. And I am so serious about this. And I'm going to go and apologize to the members of my family that I know disagree with me on this. Kites suck. And I want to be very, it's K-I-T-E-S. My wife said I had to make sure I pronounced that correctly.
You could absolutely get us in some hot water here, bro, for just talking about not wanting to fly something in some wind. Okay. we could be blacklisted by the FCC if that was inappropriately read. I'm with you.
I think kites are boring. They're pointless. Like, what do you like? Cool. Like, if you really want to see something up there, just go to YouTube.
My thing is, if you're the most successful that you can be while flying a kite, you're still just holding something up in the air by a string.
Yeah.
So like that's the goal. And I agree with you. Again, we don't want to isolate all people that love kites, but
kinda.
But I don't get it.
You have a stupid hobby.
I don't. Yeah. Don't say that. It's just because let people enjoy things. That's one of our.
I'll let you enjoy it. I'm going to judge you though.
We don't enjoy. Yes, kites are strange. I just like I guess I get it. You get it up in the air for a little bit, and then like that's cool. But like that's your thing is to do kites. Like I just I'm with you. I'm not very pro kite, I guess. So. My non-sports is folks that will tell you that they're going to Walmart, but they don't tell you they're going to Walmart. They're going to the Walmart.
Or Wally World.
No, I don't even hate Wally World. It's just the in front of it. Yeah. If they said I'm going to the Wally World, I would dislike that. I would have a distaste for that. I'll say dumb stuff like that. Hey, I'm going to go to Wally World. But like, why the?
Yeah.
There's so many Kroger stores, not Kroger's. They're not the Kroger's. There's so many Kroger stores. Why would you say I'm going to the Kroger's? I just don't get it. I just don't get the. It's
So growing up in Sumner County,
in the Sumner County,
there was a restaurant called Los Compadres, a Mexican establishment.
The Los Compadres?
Yes. Every time people are like, I'm going to the Los Compadres. You're going to the friends?
So you're going to go to Los Compadres. You're not going to the Los Compadres. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. I just don't get the in front of it. And
no, like like especially when they add when they do Kroger with it and they add the S at the end, the Krogers. It makes me want to murder somebody.
I just want to hit him with the Kroger's what? So that tears me up. I don't know. I don't even know really why. It's just one of those things that just bothers me.
It's always, it's bothered me too. It's always bugged me.
What'd you learn today, man? We're getting out. We're about to get out of here.
Yeah, we're getting out of here soon, man. I learned more about your hatred for Batman, for the Batguy.
I learned that you're going to piss off a bunch of family members, apparently. You have a lot of family members that
My
are
sister
pro-kite.
is a very pro-kite person.
Yeah, but what is your sister going to do about it? She ain't going to do nothing. Look, I am happy for Jen if she's pro-kite, but what are you going to do? You're going to start a petition against us because we don't like kites, Jen? Like,
all right, guys, it's time to sign off. We'll see you next week. This has been another episode of the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network. Follow us on social media at Pucks Out Pod. You can follow him at Brandon K. Bond. You can follow me at Bobby Butler 1865. Have a great week, guys. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram at Pucks Out Pod.